On a gentle autumn afternoon, the quiet murmur of rustling leaves filled the space around the old schoolyard. Emma, a thoughtful and sensitive young girl, slowly made her way towards a secluded spot near the worn wooden fence that lined the school. Clutched in one small hand was her lunch, a humble meal wrapped with care, and a promise of solace for a day that might otherwise be lonesome. She settled down beneath a sprawling oak, its branches a tapestry of shifting gold and copper, and arranged her lunch as though it were a treasure meant to be shared with both friend and nature. As Emma unwrapped her sandwich, a subtle stirring caught her eye. There, beyond the creaking fence, sat a ragged, weary dog with eyes too soulful to ignore. The dog's fur was matted, and his stance was that of one who had seen too many lonely days. His eyes, however, held an unexpected plea, a silent request that touched Emma's tender heart. In that quiet moment, Emma's empathy blossomed. With a gentle smile that spoke of a deep, silent understanding, she broke off a piece of her sandwich and laid it near the base of the fence. The stray dog, whose presence felt both timid and hopeful, stepped forward hesitantly. His nose twitched as he inhaled the aroma of freshly baked bread and savory fillings. Slowly, as if testing the waters of newfound trust, he took the offering. Emma watched, heart fluttering, as the dog's eyes shone with gratitude. In her inner thoughts, she marveled at the wonder of kindness bridging the gap between two lost souls. "How lonely must you be?" she mused quietly. A promise formed in that moment. She would not let fear or uncertainty keep her from offering friendship to this unfamiliar creature. Day after day, Emma returned to her quiet spot with pieces of food, water in a tiny cup, and, when needed, soft pieces of fabric to serve as makeshift bandages for small scratches or wounds. The stray dog inched closer with each visit, a timid transformation into a cautious presence who came to trust her kind heart. Emma named him Scout, a name bestowed upon him for the way his eyes, bright with uncertainty yet full of determination, scouted out the edges of his new world. Scout's ragged coat, brown with streaks of gray, seemed to tell stories of hardship. But within Emma's eyes, he became a canvas on which hope could be redrawn. In moments of quiet companionship, the young girl would whisper her secrets, her dreams, and the soft wonder of how a stray, unwanted creature could grow into an emblem of trust and loyalty. The gentle sound of falling leaves and the distant call of birds accompanied their growing bond. Emma would often lean forward, offering him small treats and murmuring, "Rest now, dear Scout, and know that you are not alone." In these intimate moments, the air itself seemed to hold its breath as the gentle music of empathy and healing played. Emma's thoughts were filled with the wonder of newfound hope. In every lost creature lies the heart of a friend waiting to be found. With every visit, the bond between Emma and Scout deepened. The girl not only brought him food but also tender care. One chilly morning, she discovered a small wound along the flank of his body, a mark of the harshness Scout had faced on the streets. With gentle hands and a determination that belied her young age, Emma cleaned the wound and wrapped it with a soft cloth she had torn from her favorite blanket, a blanket that still held the lingering scent of home and warmth. Underneath the shimmering drizzle of autumn rain, as the droplets glistened like small mirrors reflecting fragments of light, Scout approached Emma with an unguarded vulnerability. In his eyes there was gratitude, a silent acknowledgement that every gesture from Emma was a balm for his battered soul. In these moments, Emma's heart swelled with inner belief. She felt that perhaps kindness had the power to mend more than just wounds. It could rebuild broken spirits, hearts and homes alike. Each soft pat on his head, each whispered word of comfort, imprinted on Scout an unwavering trust, a bond that would see them through both gentle days and turbulent nights. And so, the two ventured into a new rhythm, a wordless promise that whispered, "I am here and you are home." Then came the storm, a violent torrent, that both cleansed and ravaged. As the skies roared and the wind swept away the last remnants of golden leaves, Scout's familiar presence vanished. Emma waited long after the storm had subsided. Her quiet spot near the school fence felt markedly empty. Days turned into heart-wrenching. Weeks as the absence of her gentle friend, Scout, carved a quiet void in her heart. Emma's every thought was haunted by the silhouette of a furry companion who had once scampered around her feet. At times, she wandered the neighborhood, searching for any trace of him, glancing around corners, peering through puddles that glistened with the memories of summer rain. Her mind was filled with silent pleas. "Where are you, dear friend? Come back." The sense of loss was deep and unyielding, a reminder that love, even in its gentle form, could be both healing and heartbreaking. Emma's inner voice was a constant refrain of longing and hope, echoing softly amidst the quiet aftermath of the storm. Days passed like silent drifts of autumn fog. Emma's world felt paused, each tick of the clock a reminder of the missing beat in her life. In the solitude of her room, with the faint smell of rain still clinging to the air, she replayed her memories of Scout, the gentle whimpers of contentment, the soft nuzzles that confirmed an unspoken promise of trust, and the very sight of him, approaching with tentative steps. Night after night, Emma lay awake, tracing the contours of the past in her dreams, a collage of golden afternoons, shared smiles, and the pure, unconditional exchange of care. Within her gentle heart, every memory bore the imprint of hope. "I will wait for you, Scout," she silently vowed, her voice mingling with the quiet hum of the night. With each passing day, her hope flickered like a stubborn flame, even as the chill of loneliness threatened to snuff it out. Then, as if summoned by the steady beat of hope, a familiar shape appeared at Emma's front door. Scout, returning at last. His appearance was both heart-wrenching and miraculous. Mud clung to his fur. His eyes, though shadowed by fatigue and pain, shone with the unmistakable spark of recognition. Clenched in his jaw lay an old collar, battered and worn by time, yet still holding a precious charm, a small keychain embossed with a faded inscription and a personal message that resonated with a deep familiarity. Emma, roused by a mix of sleep and wonder, approached slowly. The chill in the morning air was soon replaced by a surge of warmth in her heart. As the collar was gently examined by her parents, Sarah and Daniel, the pieces of the past fell into place. The keychain's inscription was a clear reminder of the family dog that had vanished years ago, believed lost to time and memory. In that quiet moment, reality blended with the miraculous. Emma, overwhelmed by joy and a bittersweet nostalgia, realized that the stray dog she had so lovingly cared for was, in fact, her long-lost pet, the same loyal guardian who had once safeguarded their small family with unwavering devotion. Scout, battered by life's storms but resilient in spirit, had returned to the place where love always awaited. Tears of gratitude mingled with smiles as Sarah and Daniel embraced Emma and their beloved dog. The house, once echoing with the sound of absence, now pulsed with the warmth of reunion and hope. Not long after Scout's astonishing return, as autumn began to hint at its final shades and winter lurked just behind the horizon, an unexpected intruder crept into the quiet neighborhood. It was a cold, blustery night when the sound of forced entry shattered the comfortable silence of Emma's home. In the deep hours when the family slept, a shadow moved stealthily around the perimeter of the house. Awakened by the subtle clatter of something amiss, Scout stirred. Instinct and unwavering loyalty surged within him as he sensed danger approaching. Without hesitation, he leapt from his modest resting place at Emma's feet, and with a fierce determination that belied his weary appearance, he positioned himself between the intruder and the sleeping family. In the ensuing moment of tension, as the intruder attempted to force his way inside, Scout erupted in a protective fury. His deep, resonant bark shattered the stillness of the night, echoing off the walls and sending shockwaves of alarm through the neighborhood. In that charged moment, his past merged with the present, a reminder that love and loyalty are timeless, and that he still retained the strength and skill of the guardian he had always been. With a combination of courage and well-honed instinct, Scout thwarted the intruder's approach. The would-be trespasser, overwhelmed by the resolute defense of a creature so fiercely protective of his home, fled into the darkness without a backward glance. As the echoes of Scout's barks faded into the quiet of the early morning, a sense of relief swept over the household. Sarah and Daniel, emerging from their slumber, met their eyes with gratitude and disbelief, each silently acknowledging that the loyal dog they had believed lost was indeed their steadfast protector. In the aftermath of turmoil, the gentle magic of reunion began to mend hearts. Emma, her eyes still bright with tears of joy and relief, sat on the cool grass in the family's backyard. The sky transformed into a breathtaking canvas of lilac, pink and molten gold, a visual lullaby that whispered promises of renewal. Scout lay at her feet, his battered form now a testament to resilience, with eyes that shone softly in the amber glow of the setting sun. His presence, once that of a mysterious stray, now radiated a comforting certainty, a living reminder of second chances and the unbreakable ties of love. Sarah and Daniel joined them, their faces lined with relief, wonder, and the quiet joy of having found a piece of their past now restored. As the soft hum of evening enveloped the yard, Emma pressed her hand against her heart and whispered silently, "You've come back to us, and now our home is complete." The melody of cicadas and the rustle of leaves formed a gentle symphony in the background, echoing the rhythm of lives intertwined by fate and care. In that tranquil moment, the family savored the tender balance of bittersweet nostalgia and joyful redemption. The warmth of shared memories mingled with the promise of a future filled with courage, compassion, and the ever-resilient power of forgiveness. Each ray of the setting sun was a reaffirmation that love, given freely, will always find its way home even after storms of life threaten to tear it apart. Later that night, as the household quieted down and the murmurs of the day gave way to contemplative silence, Emma found herself seated by the window, lost in a reverie of memories. She thought of the first time she had seen Scout, of every meal shared under the fading light of autumn, of the moments when hope nearly faltered, and of this miraculous reunion that now painted her world in hues of gold and promise. The gentle clinking of the family's dinner dishes in the background, the subtle aroma of comfort food warming the kitchen, and the soft, repetitive murmur of nighttime crickets all converged to underscore a simple truth: that every life, every bond, is a testament to the resilience of the human and animal spirit. The events of the past weeks, a medley of worry, love, despair, and eventually joy, had taught Emma that even in the darkest hours, the light of hope never truly fades. Her inner voice echoed a quiet mantra: in every end, there lies the promise of a new beginning. In every lost thing, there is potential for return. And in every heart that loves, there is a power that endures beyond the span of time. She remembered Scout's determined eyes, the way he had guarded their home with a bravery that surpassed words, and recognized that the stray who once wandered alone was forever etched in her soul as the guardian of second chances. In her reflective solitude, Emma felt an overwhelming gratitude for the storm that had tested their resolve, for the separation that deepened the taste of reunion, and for the unconditional love that had blossomed between a gentle girl and a remarkable dog. The subtle fragrance of night-blooming flowers mingled with memories of autumn's crisp air, reminding her that every moment, no matter how difficult, eventually gives way to renewal and light. In the days that followed the dramatic return of Scout, the little household was gradually transformed into a haven of quiet happiness and shared dreams. Emma's laughter grew more luminous each day as the bond between her and Scout became the heart of every cherished memory. Sarah and Daniel, marveled at the transformation as their home, once marred by loss, now radiated the tender warmth of a family reunited. Scout, now fully recovered from his injuries and with scars that bore silent testimony to his past, resumed his old habits of gentle vigilance. Every evening, as dusk approached, he would lie faithfully at Emma's feet, his deep, soulful eyes, keeping watch over her as she delved into her quiet world of books, art, and gentle daydreams. His protective spirit was recalled once more during a fateful night when an intruder dared to disturb their peace. With that courageous bout of loyalty, he reaffirmed to all and to himself that some bonds are forged by destiny and nourished by endless compassion. The family, gathered together in the soft golden light of a backyard sunset, shared tender embraces and whispered words of gratitude. They celebrated not just the return of a beloved pet, but also the return of hope, love, and the unyielding belief that every lost piece of the heart can one day be found again. The gentle cadence of the evening was punctuated by Emma's quiet revelation. There is a quiet magic in love, an enduring promise that when we give of ourselves freely, what was once lost can return, mended by time and held together by memory. It was a lesson learned not only from a long-lost pet coming home, but also from the deep, unfaltering strength that lay in the simple yet profound act of kindness. As the stars began to twinkle in the vast, dark sky above, the soft sounds of nature joined together in a lullaby that echoed the theme of the night, a celebration of second chances and the gentle power of love. A whisper of wind carried away the remnants of the day's trials, and with it, the seeds of tomorrow's hope were sown. In that timeless moment, the story of Emma, Scout, and their family became more than a narrative of return. It became a living testament to the enduring truth that home is not simply a place of shelter, but a sanctuary forged by the myriad little acts of love, care, and forgiveness that we dare to share. And so, in the tender interplay of autumn memories and the promise of a new dawn, the quiet neighborhood thrived once more in the glow of love's unyielding warmth. Emma, with her eyes full of dreams and a heart mended by long-awaited reunion, came to understand that sometimes the journey through hardship brings forth the most beautiful blessings. Scout, who had wandered through life's storms only to return as both a cherished companion and vigilant guardian, had imparted a timeless lesson. Even in the bitter winds of loss, the soft bloom of hope will always find its way back home. In the gentle cadence of the falling night, as the family huddled together beneath a starlit sky, their shared smiles and whispered confidences spoke of a truth as eternal as the seasons. Love, when nurtured with patience and care, becomes an unbreakable bond, one that reclaims its rightful place even when scattered by life's tempests. Thus, the journey of Emma, Scout, Sarah, and Daniel became a quiet hymn of healing, a narrative layered with the bittersweet fragrance of autumn leaves, the resolute notes of protection, and the irrevocable promise of a second chance. Their story, woven from the threads of loss and redemption, now fluttered gently like a cherished memory, a reminder that every heart has a home waiting to be found, and that every life, no matter how lost or wandering, holds within it the capacity for remarkable returns. As the night deepened and the gentle rhythm of the world lulled all into a peaceful slumber, the silent assurance of tomorrow's sunrise glowed with the promise that the bonds of love can defy distance and time. In every shared glance, every soft pat, every tender whisper in the twilight, lay the memory of a stray transformed into a guardian and a family forever united, a living ode to the timeless power of hope and the miracle of coming home. In the delicate interplay between solitude and solidarity, in the quiet corners of lonely afternoons, and the riot of colors left by departing leaves, we are reminded that love does not wane. It transforms. Through every act of kindness, every moment of compassion, we mend the broken pieces of our past and forge a future where every lost thing may be found again. And so, as Emma's smile lights up the fading glow of a summer's eve, and Scout lies faithfully guarding the hearth, the world is shown in its most tender truth. Sometimes the heart's long journey is simply a winding path back to the home where love always dwells.